is nothing you can do.
Yes, he's here, but I think he's not alone.
You're right, my friends. I am here. It's the David Eagle Podcast. I'm David Eagle, and I am not alone, for I am with...
Ellie Eagle Skinner. You did tap me on the shoulder.
I did, but I felt I might need to.
It was a very light tap.
Because how would you know if I was going to say it or if I wasn't going to say it? And I went up at the end, but sometimes going up at the end is not enough for you. But anyway, enough about our private lives. Welcome to the David Eagle Podcast. It's Tosh time. It's going to be a short one this week because last week was a 93-minute episode.
Or epic, as some might describe it. Episode.
Oh my goodness. But what we lack in length, we make up for in quality. Again, enough of our private lives. The reason for its shortness is not just because of the length of the previous episode, it's because normally we try to release these. Well, when we first started doing this, we used to release these on Thursday, sometimes Thursday morning, then it gradually moved to a Thursday afternoon, then to a Thursday evening, then to a Friday morning, then to a Friday afternoon, and then to a Friday evening. Don't worry, listeners, this is not going to go on. Bloody hell, don't say it's now Wednesday afternoon you're releasing it, because this is going to go on a long time. Then a Friday night, then a Saturday. But what I'm trying to say is it is Friday evening now, and we still haven't released it. Well, obviously we haven't released it because
we're recording
it now, unless we did a live stream. And the quality so far, we could have just set the thing going and off we go. And maybe that would have added, we haven't done the David Eagle Podcast live stream before. Maybe that would give us an extra bit of jeopardy, because we do quite a bit of editing.
Mainly you just cut out
yeah,
all
like
the
that, for instance. I would edit things like that out, but I haven't today.
Mostly you just cut out all the funny things that I say.
Ellie,
so
we've not.
Funnier.
She every week she attempts a monologue.
She's got stand-up routine.
Limerick of the week. She does it all, but I say it's not your podcast, Ellie. So I have to take all that out. Before we move on, I said the word solid. Or did you say the word solid? One of us said the word solid.
I think you said solid.
For some strange reason. I can't quite remember why I was talking about solid things now. But before we started the podcast, I said something about it being solid. Oh, was it about the microphone?
Oh, yeah.
Clipping onto my shirt, and would it flop when I clipped it on? Because last time when I clipped it onto my T-shirt, the microphone sort of flopped a little bit.
Yeah.
And I had to kind of do like a double T-shirt folding so that the microphone would stay on, so it would clip on. This time I don't. Got a thicker T-shirt. And so I said it was solid. And as soon as I did that, both into our heads, and we both sang at the same time. And any ideas, listeners, what we might have sang? We'll just give you a few seconds there to have a little bit of a think. What song we thought of when we thought of the word solid? There you go. Bit of time for you to think, listeners. Already we're playing little games, just even with the introduction. And now this was a live stream, I'm sure. Messages will be pouring in. But we were thinking of, now, who is it who sings it? It's two people who sing it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And the song is Solid. Solid as a rock. That one.
Yeah.
Solid, but I can't remember who sings it.
Ashford and Simpson.
Ashford and Simpson. It does sound like two solicitors.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Your case, when I think about your case, it is a solid case. Maybe that's how it started. Like, oh, that's quite good, actually. What happened there? I don't know. I had something in my throat. I went, solid. And then they're like, oh, bloody hell. Hang on a second. You don't mind, do you? Maybe the person they were representing was a music lawyer. And he's like, I'm so grateful for getting me off this case and sorting me out that I'm going to give you a recording deal. And that's how the song was born. Imagine if that was actually what happened. And I've just... People are going, yeah, that's what happened, David.
That was just it. Why are you making this some sort of fantastical thing?
Everyone
it's just
knows
the
that.
Truth. Yeah.
Anyway, the clip we played at the start, of course, was from The Dark Is Rising, the mid-90s BBC Radio 4 dramatic adaptation of Susan Cooper's fantasy novel. That is what we happened upon in last week's Cassette Roulette, the feature where we take at random a cassette from our big box of cassettes that I've accumulated from recorded from the age of, well, I don't know, early childhood up into my late teenage years. There's all sorts of stuff on, radio shows, my own random recordings, my own radio shows, all sorts of weird things. And each week we take a cassette, and whatever is on that cassette, we play what will be on this week's mystery cassette. Find out later in Cassette Roulette. It's the return of... You wanted to say something, Annie?
I was just thinking you say each week, and we've only just done it one week, but now it's continuing.
Starting to become weekly. I'm trying to instill the weekly aspect into this because we cannot... I think someone mentioned this on the podcast, that Apple Podcasts claims that we are releasing episodes fortnightly.
Yeah.
And we've done a weekly episode since January, but Apple Podcasts has not forgiven us for like the 1.5, 2 years absence. And it's going, no, you need to do this a lot longer than 8 months weekly. And maybe also it's not happy with us because we slowly but surely eke the times that you used to release it every Thursday morning. And now it's every Friday. Well, now it's not even Friday evening. You haven't done it. So the people at Apple Podcasts will be going, we might have been having a bit of a meeting, maybe this afternoon. Going, should we say weekly? And then they went, well, let's have a look. If it's up now, I think we can say weekly. It's not
then
there.
We'll change it up.
And then they were just about to clock off, 5 o'clock. We thought we'll give them till 5. And now it hasn't happened. So we're still at fortnightly there. I'm sure that's how it works at Apple Podcasts. They just make all these decisions. It's the one thing that's not gone onto AI and is not algorithmic. It's just people sat there in a meeting go, right, we need to decide, is the David Eagle podcast still fortnightly or weekly? And the people arguing my case and vice versa. Anyway, and talking, well, I say talking, it was a long time ago, of fantasy novels.
Novels.
Also, we were given a big box of Braille books my dad brought with him, and it turns out that at the age of 9, I wrote a fantasy novella called The Story of the Brain King. I cannot remember anything about it, but we have been dramatising it in weekly, you get that, Apple Podcasts, weekly instalments, and this is week 9, and it's chapter 10, because one of the weeks we did 2 chapters. Chapter 10 of The Story of the Brain King. Will we be getting any closer to rescuing my parents and Harry, the brother of my 9-year-old friend, gender unknown, Marisa?
I'm going to make a prediction that we don't get any closer to it. But I've been at work today with some volunteers, and one of them has got young children, and we were talking about how much they love podcasts and they also love audiobooks. And I said that we were reading this, and I played a clip of it, and she was like, oh my God, this sounds so much like something a 9-year-old would write. When it's all released, I will let my children listen to this as a bedtime story.
Okay, so do we need, because what I was thinking of doing at the end of this was a sort of an omnibus thing, and I was wondering whether we'd release it just as the story without interruption or with our interruptions. Maybe we need 2 versions.
I think we definitely need an interruption-free one.
Okay.
So that
I think with the interruption-free one, all of the plot holes will be laid bare. I love the idea of children having it as a bedtime story. Imagine if it became like really popular.
This could be it, mate.
Yeah, I could be like a bestseller, and then they make a film adaptation of it. Then I become a transphobe. The career path is all laid out.
It could be the Christmas special animated classic.
Well, now that Disney have done the dirty on the BBC with Doctor Who, maybe this is the next collaboration.
And surely they will have run out of Julia Donaldson books by now.
Who knows what may happen? We'll find out. Well, not this week.
No,
we'll find out. I'm so used to saying we'll find out this week. We'll find out on the podcast.
I think if we have an interruption-free one, but we could have a little bit of the chat at the end as an optional extra.
No, I think we do. We just released 2. We released 2 bonus episodes. I don't know why we're having a business meeting. Bear in mind I said this is going to be short.
I know.
Again, this is meant to be the introduction. Okay, so that's what's coming up. Oh, my goodness.
The volunteers...
Sorry, the reason I said oh my goodness is because we did a little fist bump. A little bit. We don't usually high-five.
No.
Apart from after we've made love. Bit of a high-five. Very good.
The 2 people that I played the bits of the podcast to today were like, he has got such a good podcast voice. He should be doing voiceovers.
Thank you. It's always the people. It's always the people who say you should do voiceovers who have no voiceover work in the offing.
Who have no way of getting
exactly.
that opportunity to be set up.
Talking of voiceovers, last week we discussed that we would try and make the introduction even more epic with the previously section with explosions and doves. I didn't quite know what you meant by doves. Why doves?
Well, it's very much a visual thing of when there's an action sequence. Quite often people will walk slow motion through doves doves that are flying away from them.
So I will try and recreate that in an audio sense then. Walking in slow motion while doves going on. I haven't managed to do it this week because it's been a very busy week. I've been all over the place. Both Ellie and myself are very tired. We can barely keep our eyes open, which is less of a problem for me, obviously. So I've been on my travels.
Yep.
A lot of stuff has happened. An interesting incident. Well, I say interesting. Well, you can be the judge of that. On the way back from Sidmouth Folk Festival, where we were playing this week, on the way back from Exeter on the train, a couple got on. It's quite an old, posh couple.
Okay.
And she said, "Oh, darling, you've put my bag on the luggage rack there, but I was hoping to read the Observer. Could you get the Observer down?" Yes, I'll get the Observer for you, darling. Yes. So he reaches up, and he's right next to where I am, and she's right by where I am as well. It's like a four-seat thing.
Yep.
He reaches up, he passes her the Observer, she goes to get it, she drops... Well, she drops it, she leans forward to get it, but as she gets it, she slaps me in the face. Direct, like a proper, slap in the face. I just thought it was really funny as this posh old couple. And then she goes, "Oh, my goodness, I do apologise."
So did she slap you with her hand or with the paper?
No, with the Observer.
Okay.
She slaps me with the paper.
Yeah.
So anyway, obviously I'm a little bit shocked by it, which I think is why I then said what I said next.
Yeah.
So she went, "Oh, my goodness, I do apologise." And I said, "Oh, it's quite all right. It's the first time I've been attacked by the Observer. They usually give me 5 stars." I was very pleased with myself. But then I thought, okay, well, obviously now this has created a discussion.
Yeah.
Hasn't it? She's got to say, "Oh, 5 stars? What do you do?" And it's going to lead to a little bit of a discussion, which I wasn't bothered about having or anything like that. But I thought, well, you can't say something like that and then just leave it up in the air. Turns out you can. She said she wanted to read the Observer. She wasn't wrong. She apologised. I said, "That's the first time I've been attacked by the Observer. They usually give me 5 stars. Nothing." She said nothing. And a partner said nothing and just continued reading the paper. And then I just felt really awkward because I felt, well, I probably said that reasonably loud and other people on the train have probably heard it as well. And now they're probably going, "Ah, you idiot." So that felt a bit weird. At Wickham Folk Festival, we had a bit of an odd situation. We were following Mike Reid.
Oh, right.
You remember Mike Reid?
The DJ.
The ex-BBC Radio 1 DJ, TV presenter.
Yeah.
And, do you remember the fact about him from 2014?
This isn't going to be like a U-Tree issue, is it?
No.
Okay.
No. He, in 2014, composed a little song called the UKIP Calypso.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the UKIP Calypso. So, for those people who don't know, we should probably try and find it, actually.
Did he play it before you went on?
Well, hang on. Well, we can't be speaking while the screen reader's reading over the top, otherwise that's going to get very confusing. People are thinking, who's this in the studio? Is it standoffish?
UKIP Calypso, a song by Mike Reid, Radio 1 DJ, 4 minutes, 25 seconds. Link.
Taxpayers' money, where does it go? Not even George Osborne knows. When we're in power and we engage, there'd be no tax on the minimum wage.
The first thing is, it's an odd choice, I think, to have at a folk festival, maybe. It was an audience with Mike Reid.
Yeah.
Why would... have people forgotten about this? I know it was 2014. But also, if you're making a song about being pro-Farage and pro-UKIP, you know that, rightly or wrongly, if you think, but you know that there's been a lot of... For that kind of thing, UK Independence Party, separated from the European Union, all of that, and all of the controversies, you know there's a lot of people who would say that a lot of their supporters, maybe even people in the party as well, have got racist tendencies, are racist, you know. And with that in mind, he decided, I'll tell you what, I'll do a song, I'll do it in a Jamaican accent. Why would you make that decision?
He just committed a cardinal sin. Open the borders, let them all come in. Illegal immigrants in every town. Stand up and be counted, Blair and Brown. Oh yes, when we take charge and the new Prime Minister is Farage, we can trade with the world again when Nigel is at number 10.
This...
He said it was not remotely racist to do so, taking up this Jamaican accent, but it's satire and a bit of fun. It's not terribly serious. I wouldn't have sounded very good if I'd sung it in a Surrey accent.
Well, I understand that, Mike, in a way, but you're singing a song from the perspective of someone who's British. Maybe you could say it's quite inclusive, because it doesn't mean to say a British person can't originally have come from
Jamaica.
like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I just think it's an odd choice. Like, why Calypso? Why have you chosen Calypso? Why have you chosen a Jamaican accent? That is what I think of now. When I think of Mike Reid, that's what I think of. It's amazing how many people have forgotten. I think how many people who went to the folk festival might have not remembered as well. So was it going to be brought up? Because it was a question and answer thing.
Right.
I don't know if it was deliberate where he said, I won't talk about that, or if he said, I don't want the audience asking me any questions, because the audience didn't ask any questions. Now, from where I was, it was a very flat
Chat.
Very flat chat. Oh, I was going to ask listeners, when you think of words, is there a certain song that immediately springs to mind when you think of a certain word? If you know what I mean. So there, Solid, we immediately started, we thought of that song. But there must be other songs as well.
Yeah.
So, any ideas from listeners where you hear a word and instantly a song comes into your head?
One of mine is Question.
Oh, well, that's obviously, tell me what you think about me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I'm the one locking up at work, I say I've got the key.
Yeah, but that's because that's obviously I've got the key, I've got the secret, but that's not one word. Whereas question is,
question?
I think keep it at one word.
Would we allow it's been?
What, for it's been 1 week?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
Just
so.
the one
I think
word.
it has to be one word, really. I mean, you can take it. Look, we haven't got enough listeners to start pissing
true.
about with a form. If people want to do phrases or whatever you want to do, you do whatever you can, whatever you want, my friends. What do you think, Mike?
Read it out as
In a
concept.
Jamaican accent. So I listened in, and they talked about Radio 1, they talked about the presenting, they talked about the TV show, they played a few clips. And then he said, the guy who was doing it, he said, now, of course, there has been, you're no stranger necessarily to controversy.
Yep.
Here we go. And he went, of course, you worked with Jimmy Savile. So that's where he went with the controversy thing. So they were talking a little bit about that. At one point, Mike Reid did do a Jimmy Savile impression.
What?
Yeah, he did a Jimmy Savile impression, and I couldn't hear everything. And he wasn't like glorifying Jimmy Savile or anything like that. It wasn't anything dotted. This is my impression of Jimmy Savile having sex with a dead person. It wasn't like that. It's a bit of an odd act out, this, Mike. I tell you what, do UKIP Calypso. That'll be a bit tamer.
Want some boot polish so you can black up at the same time.
Yeah, it was a bit strange. So he came off, and then.
How are you meant to follow
And then
that?
we were on, there was a 10, 15 minute gap between the three of us, the young uns, and Mike Reid coming on. And I thought, no one's mentioned it. There must be people in the audience who came because they knew about that and they thought, is he going to get a grilling about this? Is it going to get mentioned? We have to find out. So I went on stage and I said, well, everybody, we haven't gigged together for a while, so I do have, we've done something we very rarely do. We've got a set list. And I got the set list out and said, let me just have a look. And it actually never crossed my mind this. People laughed because I think they just assumed the joke was that I, as a blind person, was reading the set list. So I'd kind of forgotten that in my attempt to do the other joke. So I said, let's have a look at the set list. And I went, the UKIP Calypso. I said, no, I guess I do apologise, everybody. I picked up Mike Reid's set list. Now, it got a really nice response, really nice laugh. There was someone who was like, well said, David, in the audience. But I think there were plenty of people who had no idea what I was talking about. I think, like you there, you didn't remember.
No, and also I think last time we talked about it, I hadn't even known about it in the first place. I have just looked on Wikipedia and it got to number 44 in the charts.
Oh, 44.
But I don't follow
That's the
charts.
perfect. If you're going to do a Jamaican accent, I'd say 44 is the perfect one.
Would you?
Perfect number.
Okay.
Do you not think? 44. That's probably a rubbish Jamaican accent. 44. Because it's the 4.
Yeah,
4 is that you'd kind of say like 4, maybe. So it's two syllables where you wouldn't do it with any other.
I don't think you know what a Jamaican accent is, mate.
44. Yeah, it's that kind of 40,
Yeah, okay.
44.
A lilting, yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming you were saying lilting as in the word lilting, not a little thing in a Jamaican accent.
Nor the tropical drink.
I wouldn't want tropical as far as gravy flavours go. That would be quite weird. Because we talked about that when we were in a pub once and we heard people singing Bob Marley's
Every
Little Birds.
Thing. Yeah.
And they were singing, every little thing is going to be all right, which I thought was a bit weird.
Yeah.
We realised it was especially weird when we got back and listened to the song, and he doesn't even say ting.
No, he says
He goes,
thing.
every little thing is going to be all right. So they've obviously, in their heads, just gone, Bob Marley, Jamaican. Oh, we'll change it to Ting, even though he doesn't sing that.
Well, it's like when I told you about the local choral and operatic society I used to be in back home, and they were doing a review concert, which basically meant that everyone who wanted to do a song could, and there was a very white, upper middle class lady doing Can't Help Loving That Man from Porgy and Bess, but she kept doing Can't Help Loving That Man of Mine, and just really leaning into the dat. And if you think of like a hyacinth bouquet type woman doing it, and she had that sort of clothing and a bit of a little hat on, and just every time, that man of mine. Oh, I left very soon after.
I mean, there's a part of me, I quite like it just for its ridiculousness. It's an interesting one. Like accents and which ones we're allowed to do and which ones we're not.
Yeah.
Or which ones people think we're not.
Yeah.
And I'd say Jamaican, I don't think there's so the thing is, I don't think there's necessarily a problem. If you're covering a certain song, it depends why you're doing it. If you're doing it in a comedy way. I'm trying to think of an example, but would it be right to just do it in your accent? Because you're clearly not giving it anything. In the same way as if you were doing like a posh voice, you're giving it a character. So I think there are times where it's absolutely fine. And I think like, I haven't really told the story much, but I did do it at our singing weekends and the Sunday sermons that we do. And I told the story about Chico, who rescued me. And he was a crazy man. And I think he was like from Jamaica. I don't exactly know where he was from, but he had that kind of accent, you know. Well, I asked him what the time was. He said it was 4 o'clock. And I thought, well, you've got to be Jamaican, I assume, Chico.
Should have said Chico time.
When I was talking about him, I felt like I had to do his voice.
Yeah.
Because it was part and parcel of who he was.
And also what he was saying.
And when
to
he
you
was with me, so when he was with me, he was like, David, when you are with me, you are safer than Jesus. Safer than Jesus. And it was the way that he said it in that mannerism. You are safer than Jesus. Like he was rescuing me and he was like my redeemer. And it was just this really drunk guy who was taking me in the wrong direction. And I knew he was going in the wrong direction because my map, bear in mind, I didn't even need his help either. But we don't want to go into that whole thing. But then there was a bit where...
But we don't have time for that story this time. That's what you do in your writing.
Oh, yes, sorry. You're parodying me at the age of 9.
You had a blank look on your face there.
Well, I don't know why I had a blank look on this, because we get another one of those in this week's episode of The Story of the Brewing King, where I go, we don't have time for that. But anyway, when I'm telling this story, I feel like I've kind of got to do the accent, because it's a bit weird. And then Chico said to me, David, when you are with me, you are safer than Jesus. Or when you are with me, you are safer than Jesus. It's just not... It's not right.
Also, it doesn't really
the character.
Sort of,
when you are with me, you are safer than Jesus.
I mean, to be honest,
I'm trying to practice.
I didn't know that you were going for some
I'm sure the neighbours will love it.
Didn't know you were going for some sort of black accent, because when you talk about Chico, I imagine the Chico from X Factor who was Spanish white man.
No, well, I don't know.
Obviously,
if he's Jamaican, does he have to be black?
Not necessarily, but the likelihood is yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I hadn't...
but you don't know because you can't see him.
But I'll know for next time. I'll know what I need to do to make the character even more authentic. Thank you very much, Johnny. A very strange character, a very strange man, and I felt like I needed to do the accent. But what I did, in a way of kind of getting around it, I said, look, the guy was Jamaican, and so I feel like I've got to kind of employ that kind of accent. You know, I could have said to him, look, Chico, the way that you're behaving, this is becoming anecdote-worthy. Could you possibly talk in an accent that is more respectful with a liberal, white, guilt-ridden crowd? You know, like, it's interesting what accents we can and can't do. But I would argue that if you're singing a song, a pro-UKIP song, maybe stay clear of the accents just because of the connotations, you know.
Do it in your own voice.
You know, especially if you're talking about people coming into Britain who shouldn't be there and all that, and you're proud to be British, sing it as a British voice then. Don't, like, culturally appropriate to make your point about, like, British for British people. It just seems like such an odd... Anyway, back to Wickham. So so I said, oh, you keep Calypso. Oh, sorry, that's Mike Reed's set list. Quite a big laugh, applause. And then people said, someone like, well done, David. But I also got the impression that there were quite a few confused people who had no idea what I was talking about. Especially because then I said, oh, it'd be lovely to hear your voices, sing along with all the songs in your best Jamaican accents. And that kind of got like a laugh as well. But I think also just like there was a lot of confusion. And after I was speaking to people afterwards, there was a lot of people who didn't necessarily know or remember. And because I didn't know if Mike Reed was still there.
Yeah.
So I had this idea. As soon as I found out it was
standing in
on,
the wings.
I had this idea. This is what I'm going to do. I got the joke planned and everything. I was a bit kind of nervous about it because I thought, is he going to be still there? Is Mike Reid going to be there? Is Mike Reid going to come on? Is something going to happen? I mean, is he going to punch me? You know, is something like that going to happen? But nothing really happened. It just got a good response. And then we moved on with the rest of the gig. And it wasn't really talked about much after that. So it's that thing that I kind of built up in my head of like, oh, this could be a big moment.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was...
And you've also built up on this podcast. It's going to be a big...
Well, I don't know if the listeners are necessarily expecting that then me and Mike Reid had a wrestling match.
Punch up.
The British people have been let down. That's why.
So I do apologise, Mike. I'm doing my best. Anyway. Members update. How are your penises, everybody? It's time for a members update. So at last count, we had finally reached listener 50 of the David Eagle podcast.
And who was that?
Facebook group. That was Emily.
Yep.
That's member 51, because Ellie's in the group. I'm not in the group, by the way.
No, you're never allowed.
Mike Reid's in. Any more advances in the Facebook group on
We now
51
have
people?
54.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're going up 3 a week all of a sudden.
And
But-
recent favourite bits.
Oh,
John,
my goodness, that new feature. Favourite bits, everybody.
John says...
Members update. And for the ladies, favourite bits.
John says the tosh.
Oh.
And...
John?
Yeah, new member John
Oh.
says his favourite part of the podcast is the tosh. And new member Steve, different Steve.
Oh,
Is this a third Steve
I
or a
wonder-
fourth Steve?
Really? I just assumed there was only one Steve.
Oh, no, we've discussed before that there was an original Steve and then a newer Steve.
So is newer Steve the one who, or is it original Steve who
Emails.
emails?
Yeah.
So original Steve is the one. The new Steve's just a bit of a lurker. I've just been on the Facebook group, by the way. I'm not suggesting that you're a flasher or anything, hanging around in the bushes.
So newest Steve says his favourite part of the podcast is obviously David's quick wit and anarchic meanders.
Oh.
You look really pleased with that.
Well, I was thinking anarchic meanders is a good word to say in a Jamaican accent, if you want to try that. I mean, I could
Okay.
try it, but I don't have a very good Jamaican accent. My approximate... See, I couldn't offend with my Jamaican accent because it's so bad. Anarchic meanders. Meanders.
You now
say
sound like
meanders?
you're being
Meanders.
that Radio 4 man.
Anarchic... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the way of getting in. Where's he from? We talked
don't
about
know.
this, didn't we? Oh. And now on BBC Radio 4, anarchic meanders. 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 I don't know how you say it. Meanders. It would be meanders.
British Jamaican, yeah. Neil Nunes.
Well, certainly got the British bit all right, but... Anyway.
Okay, so things that are going on in the group.
Yes.
I will save something that relates to the story of the Brain King
Well done,
to
Ellie.
later on.
Okay.
There's a lot of camping talk
Okay.
because, as we know, Olivia is listening to the podcast
If you're
last week.
not sure, Camp Ping is one of our Chinese listeners who is a big Kenneth Williams... is a Chinese Kenneth Williams tribute act. Camp Ping. Okay. Continue. We're ticking them all off today. Jamaica, the Chinese. I think that's one. That is one, isn't it? We're talking about accents that you can't do.
No, you can't do that.
Chinese.
No.
And the thing is, I don't feel any real compunction to do a Chinese accent because the accent that people do for a Chinese person is just so ostentatious. It has no real bearing on a real Chinese accent.
No.
But if I came across somebody and they were a Chinese character, and Chinese character, I don't mean the writing, obviously. I don't know what that's called. I don't know if it's even got a word.
It probably does, but not one that I can think of at the moment.
I think it's a bit more difficult because it doesn't have much bearing on the English sound. If you know what I mean, like whereas Jamaican, like a lot of Jamaican people have like English as a language, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
Yes, colonisation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas not the case with China. Anyway, I don't know why. It's just this is me, by the way, just angling for an appearance on the second series, the next series of Nicky Campbell's Don't Say a Word podcast.
Quite a lot of the time you doing an accent is not the most terrible thing because your strong Hartlepool accent still remains within whatever you're trying to do.
Well, there is a kind of parity between the Jamaican accent, maybe, and like Geordie, perhaps. Do you not think?
Not that I can think
if I
of.
try to do a Geordie accent, there's a little kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've
sun
gone
is
back into
shining,
your
the
Dave
weather is
Brockstop.
sweet, yeah? Makes you want to move my dancing feet. When the rain comes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, something to do with a rainbow.
Yeah. I'm a rainbow too. There's a kind of, I think, a bit of a crossover.
Oh, David, I'm so sleep deprived.
Right, get the steel drums out, and we'll do Hush, lads, had me gobs, I'll tell you all an awful story. I'm not trying to do that in a Jamaican accent, but I can't. I'm now stuck in Geordie. Oh, one of my favourite porn channels.
Oh,
okay. Contest, a bit of quick wit for you there, Steve. Oh, and a bit of an anarchic meander.
As we know, Olivia is listening to this whilst camping.
Oh, yeah, I felt a bit bad for Olivia.
Yeah.
Because she said, I don't know if I'll be able to email while she's been camping. Well, I believe she has emailed.
She has.
And presumably been on the social media as well. But I did feel a bit bad because when we released it, I thought, that's the last thing Olivia needs. She goes on the Saturday morning. Yeah. We released it like early Saturday morning, like last Friday, or last thing Friday night, and it was 93 minutes. And I thought, that's the last thing Olivia needed, a long podcast. And I thought this was going to be short, but I'm not actually sure now.
I suspect it really won't be.
Okay, anyway. Sorry, continue.
As we know.
Oh, yes.
Olivia is camping and listening to the podcast, so she sent a picture of her tent setup. And I was going to ask you if you could guess what sort of tent you think Olivia's got, but we've gone on too long, so I'm just going to tell you.
Okay, a pop-up?
It's a glamping tent.
Oh, Olivia. That's the kind of clientele we have.
But she's then added further
embellishments,
follow-up messages about the camping experience.
Yeah.
There's some chat about her camping neighbours. And then we've got a sneaky photo. So, question.
Tell me what you think about me.
Thank you. What is the most indulgent thing you've ever taken camping? As you can tell from my tent, I take glamping seriously. I have my comfy mattress and my pillow from home, and it's wonderful. However, on this holiday, I've seen 3 people take it to the next level. There's a woman about 3 tents down opposite us.
I mean, if all the times to decide to do that, to broaden your sexual horizons, camping is an odd choice. So you had to see that, Olivia.
Yeah. There's a woman 3 tents down from us who has a full-on cylinder vacuum cleaner. And some people around the corner have actual bamboo growing in pots outside their tent. I can imagine what's that?
Sorry, I was doing a little Richard impression there. Why bamboo?
I don't know. Let's get to the end of the thing and then see where it's going. I can imagine the WhatsApp group now. We have loaded the fridge freezer into the car and we'll pop to Waitrose for some caviar and Pimm's to keep us going this evening. Just make sure someone has remembered to bring the camping bamboo. You can never have too many screening plants as privacy on a campsite is a must. And then she's done a photo of a cylinder vacuum cleaner similar to the one above.
So the bamboo is there as a bit of a screen?
Well...
Like it's an organic...
She then has managed to do a sneaky picture. Ooh. And I don't think it's too small. It's 2 pots of bamboo and it's too small a clump to do much screening. I think it might just be so they can
decoration.
Find it.
They find where they are.
But they've also got like windbreakers and all sorts up. They're very efficient, these people. And I go to festivals with my friends and they've been feeding me in their glorious campsite set up for, 25 years. And they do turn up with things like paddling pools to do a shower in. And there's a lot of tablecloths and all sorts. And this year there was a mini Hoover as well in the caravans that they brought, but nothing on the level of potted bamboo being brought with them.
Maybe that's another thing that we do. Anytime listeners think that they hear someone's a potential name, just make a little note of it, and at the end of the year we do like a register.
Yeah.
Mini Hoover.
Mini Hoover.
Could be one.
You didn't interrupt with Mini Hoover. Well done.
I didn't.
No.
And I was thinking, I thought, what about that, Steve? I just wanted to let you know, by the way, as soon as she said Mini Hoover, I did think of the joke.
Thought of it.
I don't want you to think, he's letting his quick wit dissipate here. Steve, I had it.
In response to this indulgent camping post, what do you think I added in the comments?
I've absolutely no idea.
Well, just the bit from, we've loaded the fridge freezer into the car, we'll pop to Waitrose for some caviar and Pimm's to keep us going this evening. Make sure you've brought the camping bamboo. I put Adam Buxton's festival song, because that's what it reminded me of. So we've had a bit of a chat about that.
Load up the 4x4, 4x4, it's festival time. We're
going to fill up the cool
bag with nipples and wine. Nipples and wine?
And wine.
Anyway.
So, Robert, I like TDEP as a short form name for the
TDEP.
David Eagle podcast.
I think it was in TDEP.
Yeah, well, I agree that the standardised pronunciation of the acronym
I think
is
you
in
need a
order.
standardised
Shut up,
way of saying
David.
standardised.
I haven't slept enough. This Canadian proposes you embrace the Yorkshire roots of your Sheffield home and pronounce it TDEP. Going
Well,
down to Dep.
it'll be T
Yes.
for Yorkshire, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so going down to Dep this morning. Out I should get thee, pet. Fart music, moist vagina. Granted, I'm a Canadian, second hand, so any Yorkshire impersonation I might
moist.
provide is immediately
Moist.
suspect.
Oh my goodness, I think moist is even
It's
worse.
Yeah, there's a lot of
'Cause
discussion
moist-
about the word
Yeah,
moist
because
being
you only think of,
horrendous.
unfortunately, you think of the word moist in terms of like eating now, I think, because of the
Yeah.
cake. Oh, it's very moist.
Ugh.
Oh, the idea of saying that.
Ugh.
That's like what I'm sorry, I haven't a clue do, where it's
Yeah.
like cake or bedroom or something.
It is, isn't it? You should get
It's-
on that.
oh, it's very moist.
This could be your audition for it.
Excuse the fingers, that kind of thing.
And
Spotted
then
dick.
Pip's been back in touch and she's put some lovely pictures of the mountain range that she's still walking across. That was very squeaky brakes from that. There's a delivery van just pulled up outside, but it sounded like it was going to crash into something. She said, well, I think I walked past the Dragon's Mountain Lair yesterday, but there were some firemen trying to deal with him.
Oh, Olivia.
So there's some fire on the mountains that she's walking through, but perhaps that's the dragon's smoke. Isn't there an Ed Sheeran fire on the mountain? He did a Lord of the Rings or a Hobbit song. Icy Fire.
Icy fire?
Ice.
Isn't that an oxymoron? I thought
Should I
Gina
play
G
with
did one, didn't she? Oh, just a little hobbit.
Would you like to hear a bit of Ed Sheeran?
I mean, if we're going to really flirt with copyright problems here.
The eye of the mountain below.
Oh, it's quite different sounding, isn't it? That's a little tease of that, everybody. Oh, was that the pause? Was
No,
that
I
literally
pa- no,
how?
I
Oh,
paused
right. Bloody hell! I was like, he's really. I haven't got much.
Stretching it out.
I'll stretch this out.
Should the sky be filled with
Okay, well, listen to that in your own time, listeners. Feel free to listen to that in your own time. Okay.
Should we have a look in the emails to see if there's any mention of the story? of the
Ironically,
brain
by you bifurcating the two bits there of Ed, it was very much a case of Ed Sheeran.
thing? Yes.
Shearing him.
Very
Okay.
good.
Like that, Steve? Quick wit. And I'll kick me handers. Okay. What we doing? Story of the breaking?
Yeah, do you want the
So
comments
someone
from the
had left a
emails?
comment.
Claire says, it seems
Oh, Claire's back.
She's back again.
Good to have you back, Claire.
it seems to be getting more and more weird. I mean, you managed to retrieve the dog in one episode, but Dan and Marissa, name sounds feminine to me, have been tramping all round the countryside with hairy toe et al. For 8 episodes. She's written all. I'm just reading it.
Okay, you said et al.
Et al. Yes, because she's written.
Okay,
Okay.
fair enough.
I mean, you managed to retrieve the dog in one episode, but Dan and Marissa name.
Also Marisa, technically. But as I've been saying Marisa every single week.
I know, it's because I'm trying to read it and I'm tired.
Okay.
I mean, you managed to retrieve the dog in one episode, but Dan and Marisa, name sounds feminine to me.
Dare I interrupt her another
Shut
time?
up. Have been tramping all around the countryside with hairy toe et al. For 8 episodes, but seem no closer to helping Dan's parents and or Harry.
That is a very good point. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it did seem like we had, with the internet and stuff, we had the ability to rescue a dog just by finding it on the internet and then just pulling this dog to safety. We managed to do all of that. We seem to be quite technologically adept, I would say. We had technology that's beyond anything that we've got at the moment. There is still no real technology. The closest, I suppose, we've got to that is being able to control a drone that could pick up a dog or grab hold of the dog and pull it to safety.
Yeah, maybe.
But
And also, like, tracking...
sounded like you were trying to do an Austin Powers thing there.
Yeah,
maybe.
I was just thinking dogs are microchipped now, so it could
Oh,
be
yeah.
sort
Like
of
a-
tracked that way, but it has to be scanned by something. So there's some sorts of technology.
Yeah, but I like the fact, you're right, Claire, that we could do that, but now seemingly, in order to rescue my parents and Maurice's brother, we have to go on this adventure with these weird people and fight dragons and
And then when you think you're going to do something,
then
just go out
finally
and fight again.
we get into a computer room and then rather than actually dealing with the computer, Gilmore just goes off and has a fight with the Lord of Darkness and a dragon.
So Olivia says Ellie did extra great well, fishing out the dark
Olivia.
is rising during Cassette Roulette. This is obviously a key text. Can it still be called a key text if it's in audio format? With regard to source material. Absolutely brilliant. I had a feeling it was going to be the dragon that came along when they heard a great noise. Predictable? No, you've clearly laid good foundations. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the person they're about to encounter is the Time Doctor again. Very excited to know what happens next.
Oh, well, Olivia. Is it time to see if Olivia's right? Or do we
Yes.
have... Okay. So it's time to see whether Olivia's prediction is correct. So just a very quick recap. In the last episode, we finally made it to a computer room. And this was, I thought, the moment. Bearing in mind, Harry, Maurice's brother, and my parents were playing a computer game and then suddenly got sucked into the computer screen. And it said they disappeared in an electronic mist. Or electric mist.
It's very poetic.
That was how it was described with the news article. But it turns out when we got to the computer, there was a game of battleships going on, and I thought, here we go, this is where we go. But instead, the Lord of Darkness appeared on the computer screen and just said, how about an old-fashioned battle? A good old-fashioned battle. And Gilmore was like, yeah, brilliant. And so he started having a fight with the Lord of Darkness. We were watching everything on the computer screen. The next thing that happened was the dragon burst through the doors. He was meant to be an evil dragon. He was described as having an evil laugh. I think it's the same dragon as the one that we saw with the Time Doctor as well, who tried to burn us. But Gilmorad, King Pelagos's knight, said to the dragon, if you want to fight, why don't you fight this fool? Pointing to the Lord of Darkness. The dragon looked a bit confused, but ultimately agreed and breathed fire at the Lord of Darkness, buying the knight of King Pelagos, Gilmorad, enough time to run to safety and get out, away from the dragon and away from the Lord of Darkness, where he met, and that's where we left things. Who did he meet? Is Olivia's assertion, her prediction, correct? It's time to find out. Part 9, Chapter 10 of The Story of the Brain King.
That's really weird feeling.
I was a bit worried because I went down.
You were
and I was
getting
like,
lower and
I don't know if
lower.
I've got much more to go.
No, I don't know if I can plumb these depths of Crowley speech.
The Story of the Brain King by D.A. Eagle. Chapter 10. A Dark Ending. So, the dragon turned out to be a friend to Gilmorad. Let's see what happens to the dragon soon. The Time Doctor was walking. He saw a man, and he stopped. "Who are you?" he asked. "I am Gilmorad." "Who are you?" "I am the Time Doctor."
Oh! Well done, Gilmorad. Well done, Olivia. Well, you can be called Gilmorad if you like, Olivia. Bit of a bit of role play.
"I am the Time Doctor, and I am looking for some people." "The Time Doctor?" asked the knight. "But I was sent by the king to find you."
So, there wasn't too much, well, I shan't tell you my name.
No, it was quite forthcoming
It was
here.
just like, let's just get on with it. We've done that routine.
"Gilmorad," said the Time Doctor. "We meet in good time. Have you seen Bob Tag Tiggawag, Grenchel, Hairy Toe, Mauricer, and Dan?" "Yes," said Gilmorad to the Time Doctor. "I was with them not long ago. But then I went to the Doors of Dark, or the Dark Doors if you prefer."
Well, I like this. Now and again, you just have these weird sort of informal turns of phrase.
Yeah.
In this very grandiose kind of, we meet in good time.
Yeah.
And then, the Dark Doors if you prefer. Yeah. But maybe he knows that the Time Doctor can be a bit churlish. So he just thought, I'm going to avoid this. If I say, we
gonna
met
cover
at
all the
the
bases.
Doors of Darkness, and he knows that, you mean the Dark Doors? I think you'll find. You mean the Dark Doors? Oh yeah, fair enough. Why are you speaking in a Jamaican accent? I'm not. I'm speaking Geordie. Anyway.
"But then I went to the Doors of Dark, or the Dark Doors if you prefer, and fought the Lord of Darkness. Then I escaped. Well, there is not time for a full account now."
There never is. I
There
do like
is.
your little sniggers as you're reading it as well. I quite like that they're still in.
"Is the Lord still there?" "Well, he was there when I left the Doors of Darkness. He was fighting a dragon. I don't know what happened, though." He soon found out, though, because Gillamorad and the Time Doctor went to the doors of darkness. As they walked, the Time Doctor said, "The king who sent you, his daughter was supposed to be coming too. And so was the White Lord. But I don't know where they've got to. Maybe we'll never meet them. Maybe they'll never turn up." But then a voice came from the trees and said, "We meet in good time."
It's quite odd that this character also says we meet in good time. Maybe
it's a common greeting.
common greeting there, yeah.
"For I am the White Lord, and I have with me
Have a guess, everybody. Who could it possibly be?
the king's daughter." "Hello, Lord." "Hello, Lord," said the Time Doctor and Gillamorad. "You do not need to go to the dark doors, for I have just been, and I found a dead dragon." "So," said the Time Doctor, "the dragon is dead."
Good. It's like really Sherlock Holmes, this. I found a dead dragon. Oh, we know what that means. The dragon is dead. If you prefer, I prefer to say the dragon is dead rather than a dead dragon. Thank you very much.
It's no more.
"And just when he'd become a friend of mine," said Gillamorad.
I think that's a bit of an overstatement.
Yeah,
the dragon
it was
became
more
a
the
friend.
sort of
Like somebody,
enemy of my enemy is my friend
Gilla,
kind of way. But
he just wanted someone to fight.
yeah,
Like, you know, if the Lord of Darkness said, "Why didn't you fight this fool?" then he would have done. Because I was wondering that in the end of chapter 9, because the chapter was called Another Friend and Another Enemy. But I was thinking, who's the friend? But obviously I meant the dragon was the friend.
"And just when he'd become a friend of mine," said Gillamorad. And then he told the Time Doctor what the dragon had done and how he'd helped him escape.
bit Doctor Who theme tuney, mate.
Oh yeah, so one thing we didn't talk about is there's definitely Doctor Who inspired things, obviously, because of the Time Doctor, the computer elements, and I did have the Big Finish Doctor Who radio dramas. I mean, I couldn't understand the word because I don't speak Finnish, but Big Finish is the production company, everybody. Anyway, bit of quick wit and meander for you there, Steve. Okay.
Meanwhile, things were almost getting hopeful for us. But as things went on, we realised we had not got much chance, now that Gillamorad was dead.
What?
So, yeah, this is quite strange.
So is this because they don't know he's survived?
They don't know he survived.
They think he's dead, but they don't know that the dragon died in his stead.
But it said they could see everything. But I suppose in fairness, they could see everything on the screen, but they couldn't see everything on the screen once Gillamorad had gone.
Yeah.
Maybe. But to be honest, I think I've forgotten writing this. I think this is what I mean by plot holes. I think if we did this without any interruption, this is the first thing. Like a child who would listen to this going, I don't understand. They said they could see everything on the screen because there's going to be more bits like this. You said you could see everything on the screen, and now you couldn't. Although actually, there is a moment that maybe explains why they didn't see everything. But I would say it's an odd assumption to come to that they just assume that Gillamorad is dead.
Hairy Toe had just defeated Zinc, an alien who he was fighting on the computer.
So that...
What?
Yeah, so that would explain maybe why. Because all of a sudden an alien must have come up, so they didn't see the rest.
Having to deal with
so now
that.
he's had to fight an alien on the computer.
So they think that...
So they've just assumed that Gillamorad is dead because presumably... Well, I don't know why. They've not got much faith in Gillamorad.
Known his skills.
And was now, with Marisa and I, walking out of the computer room to the doors to find Gillamorad's body. Grenchel and Bobtag Tiggerwag were left to keep an eye on the computer. We walked to the dark doors and found they were burnt.
"Perhaps the knight's body is burnt,"
said Hairy Toe. We walked in and then saw on the floor a dead dragon.
"It looks as if the dragon was killed by Gillamorad, but then killed the knight before he died. So they are both dead."
Again,
where's the evidence?
why? Hairy Toe's jumping to this conclusion.
Yeah.
He's very pessimistic, Hairy Toe, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't think Hairy Toe's really done much. I suppose he's just, in fairness, he's just killed Zinc, an alien, for whatever reason that is. But I think Hairy Toe's a bit of an odd character because he brought us into the dark doors before, didn't he? He just, for no reason, just walked us into an almost certain death if it hadn't been for the rescue of Bobtag Tiggerwag. And then when Bobtag Tiggerwag rescued us, it's a good job you came when you did, Bobtag Tiggerwag, because we would have been dead. So he's like, Hairy Toe's very pessimistic and also, I think, a bit stupid.
"But the Dark Lord has gone.
Then we hunted for Gillamorad's body, but we could not find it,"
He has been burnt."
said Hairy Toe. We wept in the darkness for some time, and then got up, very sad, and went out of the darkness, back to the computer room, to tell Bobtag, Tiggerwag and Grenchel the sad news. But when we got inside the computer room, the computer screen was blank, and Bobtag, Tiggerwag and Grenchel had gone.
This is a dark ending,
said Hairy Toe.
Not only is Gillamorad dead, but Grenchel and Bobtag Tiggerwag.
So now he's just assumed that Bobtag, Tiggerwag and Grenchel are dead. Again.
He does make these leaps, doesn't he?
Exactly.
But as Hairy Toe spoke, the computer had just been gathering energy, and it fired at us. And we vanished in an electric mist.
Yes.
Is that going to take you to the same?
Next time on The Story of the Brain King. Chapter 11, The King's Announcement.
There we go. So yes, an electric mist. It's the first time we heard that since chapter 2, when it was announced that Harry, Maurice's brother, and my parents had vanished in an electric mist. Are we finally going to catch up to them? Doesn't fill me with much hope, but the next chapter is called The King's Announcement. It suggests that we're going in somewhat a different world and that maybe we are not going to find out in chapter 11, The King's Announcement. But whatever happens, we'll take you there in the story of the Brain King.
Put your hand in my big box, pull out a cassette. We have no idea right now what's on it yet. But then we press play, we'll hear what we get. It's time to play a game we call Cassette Roulette.
So actually, I just suddenly thought there as I was listening to the Cassette Roulette jingle, I think that's a sort of pseudo-Jamaican accent in a way, isn't it? Not maybe Jamaican, but it's that kind of Fabio and Groove Rider who did the drum and bass show on Radio 1 and they used to play. It's that kind of jungle music. And a lot of that was like, had that kind of voice, didn't it?
Yeah.
With the drum and the bass, that kind of thing. And again, I was doing a drum and bass thing, that if I'd have gone, put your hand in my big box, pull out a cassette. It's nowhere near as good as, put your hand in my big box, pull out a cassette. It just sounds better. It's time to find out anyway what's on this week's cassette.
Oh, yeah.
So it's quite a mixed bag. The reason I'm playing this one is because do you remember on last week's, we had a BBC Radio 1 documentary from 1997 that was all about the internet and music. And on that, they said at the end, if you want any help getting on the internet, call the BBC Radio 1 helpline, which we just thought was crazy that, I was at Radio 1, I want to get on the internet. And this is what happened at the end of Channel 4 playing an episode of Frasier. So they used to do this on a Friday night, didn't they? Yep. So this would probably be about 10:30 at night.
A Channel 4 book, The Best of Frasier, is available in the shops, priced $9.99, or by calling the 24-hour order line on 01624 844 444. All calls are charged at the national rate.
So
what number was that? 01624?
Well, you want to try calling it, do you?
Yeah.
It's open 24 hours a day? How much demand is there for the best of Frasier?
Well, I imagine it's also other stuff from Channel 4.
Ah, so it may not just be the best of Frasier. I mean, yeah, because that would be absolutely crazy. Crazy extravagance. The best of Frasier helpline. How often is that call coming in? I love the idea of someone at 3 o'clock in the morning, bit of an insomniac. I do keep meaning to get that best of Frasier. Right, must remember in the morning, make a note. And then suddenly thought, hang on a minute, said the helpline was open.
24 hours.
24 hours a day, the best of Frasier hotline. And there's you're number 16 in the queue. Oh, bloody hell. It's a popular helpline at 3 o'clock in the morning. Lots of drunk people going, I know it's financially reckless. I'm not going to tell my wife I need to buy the best of Frasier. Anyway, do you want to ring the number?
Yeah, why not?
See if it still exists.
Yeah. 01624 844 444.
The number you have called is not recognised.
Oh.
The number.
You
if
can't.
You need help, please call the Manx Telecom operator.
The Manx? The Isle of Man?
It's the Isle of Man.
So if you want the best of Frasier, shall we see how much you can get the best of Frasier book for now?
Okay. So with World of Books, I can get it for £4.50.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome Books, £3.89.
Okay. So
eBay, $3.59.
Okay, but now we talked about it on the David Eagle podcast, that price will be going up. So if you do check it, that was just at the time of pre-podcast release. We now head to a commercial radio station, to Metro Radio in the northeast, and this is a strange one. The reason I'm playing this as well, actually, is because, again, this is based on, remember last week there was that weird jingle at the end of the Radio 1 documentary with the people whispering. Where it's going 97 to 99, 97 to 99 FM. So it's that weird whispered jingle. Well, here's another example of the whispered jingle. And then there's an odd bit afterwards. Here we go.
Metro FM.
Spoon of red pure power mix.
Woo! Come on, let's have ya! Yeah!
If this sounds familiar, you're a natural born clubber.
Right. What does that mean? You're a natural born clubber. If this sounds familiar... It was just a bit of music playing and one bloke clapping his hands and going, woo, come on, let's have you. It's ridiculous.
Metro FM.
Spoon of red pure power mix.
Woo! Come on, let's have ya! Yeah!
If this sounds familiar, you're a natural born clubber.
If this sounds familiar, it sounds like just a deranged man. Like, I think if you've got loads of people doing it, I like the fact that they haven't got the budget. They didn't even record one man doing it a few times. They just went, yeah, that'll do. Woo, let's have you. Got it in one take, my friend. You don't want me to do some more, so it sounds like there's more people. Because at the moment, it just sounds like I'm one man in a club. But it sounds like this is a man standing next to a car playing loud music. Just going, it's just at the traffic lights. Come on, let's have you. This next one is called Tea Time for Liam.
Okay.
Liam is my brother. He's 3 years younger than me. I'm assuming I must be about 11 at this point, so Liam will be 8. So presumably I'd been told that to get Liam to tell him that it was tea time, but rather than just calling him downstairs for tea, I decided to create some kind of odd, I don't know what you'd call this.
Liam, it's time for your tea. 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 Time for your tea. Time for your
There we are.
Oh, I was just getting into that.
Yeah.
Is there no more of
She's
it?
just about to start clapping around, so going, let's have you! If we take out the Liam bit, maybe we could do that when we review a herbal tea.
Oh, yeah.
And we could have it, it's time for your tea, it's time for your tea.
Time for your tea.
Then we review. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. So then this next clip, it's me playing with Liam. So again, I think I'm about 11, he's about 8. See, I have no idea what this game consists of. I mean, you might get a few clues, but see if you can work out get a visual idea in your head. Well, bear in mind, this is an audio cassette, so we don't have a video of this, but if we did have visuals, what would be the actual visual backdrop? What would the video content be? What are we actually doing in this game?
Come higher, lift me higher and higher. Oh, take me up, take me higher. Oh, you,
I'm guessing that's you rather than Liam.
That's not camping, by the way, everybody.
Get up, you rhinoceros. Oh, come on. To time, to time. First to the line.
I'll wet myself.
Take me, Gallions. Take me, Gallions.
You're such a weird child.
What on earth? Does that get... Why Mozart just started playing?
I don't know.
So I don't know what that is. So what do you think's going on in that game? What I think might be going on is because I said take me higher, so Liam's like lifting me up or something, but then I don't know why Liam says he's going to wet himself. And also I don't know what the end is. Take me, Galleons, take me! I think we head back to the sort of the club thing that we were talking about, maybe. I don't actually remember this particular song. Some very odd lyrics here. The last 2 lines is very odd, but also a very unusual rhyme as well, which I don't think would work in our accents. Here we go.
I guess it's true that Leo Sayer has the answer to my prayer. And if you want to please the chicks, just make out like you're 76.
So firstly, Leo Sayer and prayer. If we would say prayer, so that wouldn't quite work in our accent. But also, if you want to please the chicks, just make out like you're 76.
Is that
Like,
you've got a
just put my false
disposable-
teeth in.
Oh, I was thinking it was like
Oh,
pretending.
you would like me to take my teeth out, me darling? What would you prefer?
I was thinking it was pretending you've got some sort of disposable income to splash around because you're retired and you've just got.
What? Oh, hey, I've got a bus pass.
That's quite
make
weird.
out like you're 76, everybody.
Have we Shazammed that to try and find out what it is?
Oh, we can if you want.
I guess it's true that Leo Sayer has the answer to my prayer. And if you want to please the chick,
Groove Generation and Leo Sayer, you make me feel like dancing club mix.
Okay. This is an example of where if you just tune into a radio station for a few seconds, you just get a little snapshot of something. And for some reason, I decided I'd heard enough of this particular programme. I have absolutely no idea where this comes from or anything like that. But here it is. It's an example of just turning the dial on a radio and just getting a little something.
A little smidgen.
And then moving on.
Being women, then the male hormones kick in at about 10 weeks, and by that stage the nipples have already started to form. So basically men are stuck with nipples. They develop right at the beginning of their lives and they can't get rid of them.
Piece of trivia to stun your friends and family.
And that's it.
You're like, well, that's my trivia sorted.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't need anything else.
That'll do, thank you. I've got everything I want from the radio.
Liam,
I
guess
know
what?
that if I want to please the chicks, I'm going to make out like I'm 76 and and men are stuck with nipples.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Liam, let's have a game. Take me galleons. And bit of a coincidence hit, this one.
Yeah.
Same presenter as was doing the Pop Goes the Web documentary on Radio 1.
Yeah.
And a bit more talking about the internet on Radio 1. And also a mystery voice competition for you, Ellie, and for the listeners as well. See if you can recognise who the male voice is in this.
Until recently, the artist formerly known as Prince adored the internet. But now, a group of unofficial websites have got him filing lawsuits like it's 1999.
Right, firstly, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's a joke. He's got him filing lawsuits like it's 1999. What?
Yeah.
We're going to party like it's 1999. Makes sense because it's like it's the millennium. That's a massive thing. Like, there's no reason why there should be more litigious behaviour in 1999.
The fun-sized funk face is taking legal action to prevent unauthorised distribution of lyrics, photos and bootleg recordings on the net. He's also trying to stop one site from using his wordless squiggle symbol. So if you want to refer to Prince on the net, you'll have to come up with your own representative drawing. Preferably an obscene one involving a broom.
I don't quite understand that.
Probably shoving a broom up your arse.
All right. Because Prince now, he's kind of, he's dead, obviously. He's kind of this revered character, but Radio 1 are just going, yeah, he's a bit of an idiot, isn't he, really?
Yeah, he's got a squiggle for a name.
I mean, it is ridiculous that he's come up with something and then he's gone, you can't disseminate this. But how do you refer to him?
Yeah.
You can't do that with your name.
Well, they used to call him Tough Cap, didn't they? For the artist formerly known as Prince.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know how you can copyright your, like, someone... I like the fact that he's trying to, like, stop people disseminating lyrics and stuff as well. He's on an absolute hiding to nothing there, is it? I mean, like, now, there's no way that can happen.
Marilyn Monroe's house is up for sale on the net.
Why does she keep saying it
Well,
on
I
the
think...
net?
Well, because it's a new thing.
Okay.
It's been like 97, so it's still a new thing, whereas now it'd be weird to go on the net, of all things. Like, now you can get everything on the net. You can probably get a Best of Frasier book, you know, for £6 cheaper than you could get it in 1997. You don't even have to make a phone call.
Other bargains on offer on the site include a flight in a Russian MiG and an entire Fijian island, complete with its own village, mansion and landing strip.
You could buy that island, right, and call it Bum Poo Island, and then atlas makers all over the world would be forced to write Bum Poo Island on their maps.
Just read the script, Charlie.
More stuff about all this week's stories.
Okay.
Was that the mystery voice?
Who's the Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Hence, that was the male voice.
Oh, yeah.
So, was that,
well, yeah,
that
but
was it,
she
was it?
said Ollie at the end.
No, she didn't say Ollie.
Oh, did she
Ah,
not?
so I thought...
Okay,
so originally, when she said the name, I thought, well, that might have helped Ellie, but it didn't, because she sort of thought the name was Ollie. Who do you think, then? Any ideas?
Can you play it
Play
again?
it one more time.
Buy that island, right, and call it Bum Poo Island, and then atlas makers all over the world would be forced to write Bum Poo Island on their maps.
Just read the script, Charlie.
More stuff about all this week's stories.
Oh, Charlie Brooker.
Yes!
First I thought...
A
is it-
1997 appearance from
Yeah.
Charlie Brooker.
I thought...
That's probably quite an early one, I would
That
assume.
must be. I thought to start with it might be like David Baddiel or someone.
Yeah, it does sound a bit Baddiel, doesn't it?
And then...
That's this week's Cassette Roulette.
Cassette Roulette!
Okay, Ellie, emails. What have we got? Who have we got?
Yes. We've got the other part of Claire's email.
Oh, Claire's and more. Okay, let's have that then. I'm going to shut down the Mac.
Fourth sleep. Restart shutdown access. Authentication. Shut down in window.
Done. Thank you.
Beautiful. David, thank you for apologising to Ellie, but how on earth did you manage to interrupt yourself? Were you heading off on a tangent? How unlike you. 3 roly, smiley, laughy emojis. Take care, all the best.
Thank you, Claire.
Well, obviously, there was the other bit that we read out earlier.
Yes, yeah.
Steve says, hi,
Oh,
guys.
there's an interesting smell in the air. Can you smell that?
No.
There's like a real strong food smell suddenly appeared. Unless I've spilt something on my pyjamas.
No, I mean, there might be... There was a packet of crisps.
Everything about me so sexy. Anyway, who'd have thought? In 1997, they might have thought you'd be able to get smells on the net. But that's one thing that we still haven't really managed to transmit. Anyway.
Steve says, hi guys, very little time for me this week, but I think...
Sorry, that's because you've been listening to a 93-minute podcast.
But I think tea-deppers could be an option as a collective noun. Perhaps the jingle could be based on... And what's he suggesting?
Tea-depp?
Tea-deppers.
Zippity-doo-dah?
No, tea-deppers.
Tea-depp-doo-dah?
No. Here
Tea-
come the tea-deppers.
Oh,
Here come the hot stepper.
Yeah. Was that murderer? Is it murderer?
Don't think so.
That's what it sounds like. Or is it turn it up, not murderer? Murderer. I was wondering why people were enjoying it so much. Hey, I like it like that. Murderer. Turn it up. Oh, that's brilliant.
Na, 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 na. So
Brilliant.
that could be the
when we,
theme
before we
for
read out the emails.
Yeah. Here come the
tea-deppers. Not murderer. Not saying that. Was never proven, Steve. Yeah, there's turn it up.
Turn it
Works perfect. We'll try that next week then, listeners.
I appreciate this could be too late to be included in this week's recording. Slightly worried sad face. All the best. Heterosexual Steve, winky smiley emoji.
Oh, and just to prove it, he's got his winky. He's mentioned his winky as well. You protest a bit too much, Steve.
So there we go. And then prep the second theme.
Maybe I could play along with the theme on my...
On your new birthday present.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to go and get it for you. It's over there. I tidied things.
So Ellie got me a couple of birthday presents. Well, actually, my dad, one Christmas, got me this.
Yeah.
Which is the spoons.
Yeah.
I can... Hang on, are you? But I've also, unfortunately, can't play the both at the same time, but Ellie also got me this. Turn it up! Turn it up! So I've got that, which is like a melodica.
It is exactly a melodica from the 70s.
And it's got this spit-releasing button as well.
Yeah.
Which you can, if it's got quite a bit of spit in it, you can just press it and it just sprays piss. Piss? Well, however you want.
What have you been doing with that melodica
you want. It was Liam. He's going to wet himself. No, not in there, Liam.
Liam wet himself today. Sorry, Liam.
So yeah, I've got this melodica. Okay, so I'll try the Olivia theme tune. So I'll try it on this 1970s melodica. I'm slightly worried that when I press the spit release that there's some like 50-year-old spit in here.
I think that might have dried out by now.
Oh, okay. So a bit of extra vibrato. Here we go. Olivia! Olivia! Olivia!
I feel like I'm in a fever dream.
Olivia! 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 There you go, Olivia. And then release the spit. Okay, I'm
That's
sure
not the
Olivia
title.
would love that as a tribute.
I think she would.
Okay.
Hi, David and Ellie. What an extra great, brilliant podcast this week. extra great well doesn't really fit with the adverb at the end, so I've used brilliant instead, as it's one of my favourite positive adjectives. Smiley laughy emoji. On trailer voiceovers, I dived down a rabbit hole after you talked about it, as this reminded me of when I worked in a cinema. I also worked in a cinema, Olivia.
I wonder if Olivia, and I imagine Olivia would probably say cinema as well.
How else do you say it?
Cinema.
Cinema.
Because you're really, because everyone hasn't got an R in it, you're really stressing that A. Cinema.
And virtually every trailer had a voiceover. I was then reminded of the late Don LaFontaine, who is the golden-voiced man who did pretty much all the voiceovers towards the end of the last century and the beginning of this. Famed for In a World Where, has a pretty fascinating story. He died in 2008, which is why since then there haven't been many film trailers with voiceovers, which is very sad. I found a YouTube video about him, and she's put the link here.
Okay, so is this for us to watch now?
I guess we could.
Or is this for, like,
Let's
listeners?
see how long it is.
Yeah, how long is this?
Man has marveled at the vast complexity of the universe.
It's 5 minutes.
So it might be a bit too long for us to play. But we can play this in our own time, Olivia. And just read out that link for everybody, Ellie. HTTP.
YouTube QPM. Anyway.
You're not going to do it, all right?
No, I'm just going to probably drop it into the...
Oh, it's an incentive for people to get on the Facebook page.
What I might also do is I could put it in the comments on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Yeah.
For those of you
like
who
extra
don't...
reading.
I don't want to be excluding the people who don't join.
No, I like the extra reading. Like maybe at the end of the podcast we should do extracurricular activity. Excellent. I'm not talking about us at the end of the podcast. We've barely got enough energy to do the podcast.
Too tired.
Release the spit. Okay. Continue.
I don't want to now. Cassette Roulette was fascinating this week. It's really interesting to hear how things were with the internet in 1997, and funny that he used tub thumping and Chumbawamba as an example of pirated music, as just 2 days ago I happened to listen to the interview you did with Boff Wally in 2021, which was fantastic and well worth a listen if anyone hasn't heard it yet.
Yeah, it's a very enjoyable interview. We've had very few guests on the podcast.
Yeah. We should get some more.
We should get some more at some
We're just
point.
not very organised at the moment. We've got a lot going on.
I mean, proof of it, we're not very organised was the fact that we honestly thought this was going to be really short.
And it's already been
like
an
energy.
hour and 20 minutes.
We've not had tea yet. Ironically, we've been playing It's Tea Time, It's Tea Time. We haven't had anything to eat.
No.
Ellie's not had anything to eat since she got back from work.
I can't believe Phil said, almost word for word, exactly what I said about the Togs dogs. See my email from the 27th of March. For listeners, it's as read in Barber's Biscuits and Birds from the 2nd of April. They say great minds think alike, so you clearly have a lot of great minds listening to the podcast, David.
I forgot about this, but I was going to do a comparison of the two emails, because I think they were more or less word for word. But anyway, you've been let off the hook, Phil, because... I think you've been let off the hook, I hope I remembered. Oh, dear. I did speak to Phil about it, and he said, I don't remember that at all, but I must have heard it, because I've heard all the podcasts, so I've just absorbed it and then taken it as my own.
Yeah, so he's done the typical male thing of taking a woman's idea and just repeating it back, and then it's listened to.
She has to put a little political point on it.
I do. On the subject of collective nouns, last week Steve put a post in the Facebook group saying, Happy birthday, David, to which listener Jeremy, I like that that's his official name now, replied, Happy birthday, and then teapot and an eagle emoji. This prompted me to write that I love the idea of a teagle, the eagle who drinks the tea. Might teagles be a good collective noun for listeners of the DEP, drinkers of the tea, and listeners to the eagle?
Good points. Good points, Olivia. I think actually the problem is, in some ways it's a good thing, because Olivia's content is so good that it almost feels like when she starts speaking or when she emails and you read it out, I feel like my brain sort of stops a little bit, because I'm like, well, she's doing such a good job. You know what I mean?
What are we doing? What's the point in us?
We don't need to do anything. So then I start almost clocking off. So weirdly, we get like a minute into Olivia's emails, and then I'm just like, right, brilliant. And so I feel myself unwinding a little bit, and the end is in sight. So it's kind of like Olivia is like like the board games on her last day of term. Like she's that, because I'm like, oh, brilliant.
Nearly the summer holidays.
Home's in sight.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't like the start of this next bit.
Oh, Olivia, controversy.
Says David is right.
Oh.
I am slightly older than you guys, 46 in December. I've been married 17 years and with my husband for over 24. I've been to in excess of 30 Cropredy festivals now.
I didn't know In Excess had played at Cropredy.
My first one in 1988, age 7, with my parents. I might have been at that one. I was 4. I think I was 4 or 5 when I went to Cropredy. What?
I just thought it was the worst joke. And it's the worst joke because it doesn't make any sense.
Well,
as in, like, it's factually
did you write it
inaccurate.
when you were 9? Okay, go on
It doesn't make any sense. I was going to say, I didn't know In Excess were at Cropredy. And I was going to say, actually, what am I thinking? They went there, they've been there every single year. And when you ask them why, well, they just say, I can't stop. But that doesn't make any sense.
Is that their song?
No, it's the Fine Young Cannibals. So I thought of the joke and I was just about to do it. And I was like, that's not In Excess.
No.
In Excess did the one that's a diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. What's that one called? What's that one called? I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. Is that what it's called? Murderer. Something about a murderer.
I'm looking it up.
In Excess, Need You Tonight.
Need You Tonight, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we... Down. No, hang on, that's why I got it confused. Because it sounds like... Hang on, so play the first...
Right, okay.
Play the first bit of that. Okay, now play the first bit of She Drives Me Crazy by the Fine Young Cannibals. It's not that similar, actually, is it? But for some reason, I always get confused.
We always do this.
But those two songs must go together. Maybe that's our next mashup. That's our next mashup for next week.
So back to Olivia and 1988 when she went to her first Cropredy age 7 with her parents. She started going every year from 1996 onwards. My husband proposed to me at the top of the field there in 2005. Very much looking forward to being back in the field of dreams next weekend, grinning emoji. I believe it was there that she first came across the young'uns.
I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, and I don't know if you know, Olivia, there was a vote at Cropredy for Best Band, and they do like a World Cup sweepstakes style thing. And so we beat the Fisherman's Friends in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
We beat the Fisherman's Friends, and it was us and Toyah Wilcox in the final. Of all the bands at Cropredy, we made it to the final, Olivia, and Toyah beat us. It was a bit harsh, I thought. And we backed down because of that. But I think, like, absolutely fine. If you're going to be
beaten by someone.
If you're going to be beaten by someone, it's Toyah Wilcox.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine. But because of that, I assumed we'd be invited back. We've not been invited back since then, Olivia.
Yeah, but it's only, I think they sort of spread it out a little bit. It's been a couple of years, so maybe...
I don't know, I just didn't know if you had, like, friends in high places, Olivia, that you could chat to.
I really try hard not to judge people for things. However, I don't really hold with people bearing a grudge. They should move on and get over it. Life is too short. I can't remember.
Okay.
Life is too short.
Telling us a little... I don't know what it's based on.
We probably mentioned something, didn't we?
We probably did.
About judging people, because I'm a very judgy person. They should move on and get over it. Life is too short to feel that way. That said, I did very much enjoy all the John Wick movies, but I am a dog lover, so shrugging emoji. So that's going to mean nothing to you because you've never seen any of the John Wick films.
None of this means anything to me, Olivia. Is this an email to something different?
It's the Unthanks podcast.
Is this the Jeremy Kyle show? What's this for? I don't know what she's referring to.
Speaking of dogs, I listened to this week's podcast from our tent as I'm on holiday in Cornwall. While I was composing this week's email, a dog in a neighbouring tent appeared to be doing a bad impersonation of Splash's Rubber Duck solo from the episode In the Bath with Guns N' Roses. Not sure if you can hear this, but have a listen to the attached. Clearly not as good as Splash's original solo.
Thank you, Olivia.
Best wishes, Olivia. Kiss, kiss. There you go.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Olivia. Thank you to everybody else as well. I don't think we achieved our mission of making it a short podcast, but I think it's been a good one. It's been a good one. I've no idea what that comment was about Olivia. Maybe she's saying she's not holding a grudge with Phil for stealing her idea.
But there was a whole extra paragraph in between because the story of the Brain King came into in before that. So I don't think it is. I think we've...
wonder what we've talked
to be
about
honest,
holding grudges.
I haven't listened to last week's episode because it was 93 minutes and I did think, well, I've lived through it once, so I don't need to necessarily listen again. And also, it's been a very...
Everyone. Didn't hear what I did to her.
What did you do?
Nothing. I didn't do anything. Is she saying that we held a grudge about something or someone held a grudge to us? I have no idea what she's referring to. But there you go. We'll find out next week. It's a bit of a tease. It's tease time.
And for a bit of a tease, you did get some additional presents for your birthday. And in particular, as they were handed to me to give to you, my mum said, I've got him some teas because I want a comment on the podcast. And I want to mention on the podcast. So next week...
We have mentioned your mum on the podcast.
Oh,
we could just say, hello, mum.
Yeah. And also, she's coming up to visit in a couple of weeks, so maybe...
She could always be on the podcast.
Maybe we could officially record her and she could be on the podcast. But perhaps next week we sample those teas.
Okay.
Because we haven't tried them yet.
We could do a herbal tea of the week.
Yeah.
I always want a herbal tea of the week. I kind of go, is it that interesting that people are just listening to us tasting and smelling it? Obviously, in the last one that we did, we thought we had glass in our tea. But it turned out to be a Moroccan...
Gum Arabic.
Gum Arabic, yeah.
But also, we've then had people, for example, listener Jeremy and Claire, say that they've ordered teas based on our recommendations. So
but yet, no sponsorship deals. So, talking of tea, we better go and... well, actually, you'd say dinner.
I would say dinner. I've never called a meal tea.
No, it's a northern thing, I think.
It is.
Well, I've realised that I feel like, brilliant, job done.
Yeah.
It's Friday evening, I've now got to edit this.
Yeah, you have.
So the time of talking...
Because I was going to say, do you want to come with me to work tomorrow and do sound exploration with the kids that come in? But then I thought, no, you've got to edit the bloody podcast.
Well, we'll talk about this off air. With Delusions of Grandeur, off the podcast.
I'll take that offline.
Yeah, sorry, that's what we refer to it. It's an offline conversation, my dear. Let's take this offline. Okay.
I'm starting to think about what we could eat now as well. I'm confused.
Well, hey, listeners, maybe if you go on the Facebook page, we'll let you know what we had to eat.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much for listening. Until next week, from me, David Eagle. Oh, by the way, if anybody else... No, I was thinking, so this is what we want. Examples of songs. You hear a word and your song comes in. And we also want, I'm wondering with Cassette Roulette, if we could maybe take listener contributions. There's got to be people out there.
Because that would be something that you've never heard.
Weird cassettes. Like weird things that they've just caught on tape, like odd radio things, just anything. If you've got anything interesting, you can either digitise it or you can send it in the post. I suppose we'll have to send our address.
Do you know what I sort of miss, but I don't really because I don't like watching ads? Ads. We used to play the ad game because there were only 4 channels and our family... You couldn't fast forward or pause or anything in the olden days, kids. That's how TV used to work. And so if you taped a film off the TV, you'd get the ads with it. So some of them I'd completely know off by heart. Like there was a Domestos one, Big Bad Dom.
Yeah, I remember a lot. I remember I'm a big kid now.
Yeah, Mummy.
Was that Huggies?
Yeah.
Huggies?
I'm a big... And
nappies?
then there was the one with the sort of Made in Comfort and it's got the... baby laugh. And then there was a Comet one, which was, don't you pay any more, Mrs. Moore, Mrs. Moore, Mrs. Moore, don't you pay any more.
I can't believe...
A washer, dryer and a stereo. Anyway,
we were literally going to leave the podcast.
And
now you're doing like... Olivia will love this. You're doing like local radio.
It's not local radio, it's TV.
What? I know, but it's the kind of thing that we were doing local radio.
Okay.
Where they go, hey, what adverts do you remember? Hey, what were your favourite sweets growing up?
They were great. And there was like, the Aero. Oh, 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 it's magic. Oh, only you. All the O's of the Aero.
But I don't quite understand what the point is, what you're saying.
Well, so I didn't have cassettes because we didn't have a cassette player, so that's why we haven't got any recordings of my dad's voice and things like that. But the only weird bits of nostalgia that I would have recorded would have been when we recorded a film off the TV in 1991. So we'd have a snapshot of the adverts that were there, like the Milky Bar Kid and Mbongo and things like that. If anybody's got interesting things they've recorded, maybe they've got something...
Well, actually, this links us to your friend who did a thing where they would go to like charity shops and stuff, wouldn't they, and get videotapes.
Yeah, PDT, as he's known on the internet, was doing that for a little while. Maybe we could have him as a guest chatting about it.
So he must have found some odd things because they were like, he found like various home recordings and stuff. and CCTV footage and all sorts
old
of things.
episodes of Eurotrash, things like that.
So I think we should get him on at some point.
Okay.
There must be some odd audio. Get in touch with him, see what odd examples and weird things, and if we can get any like digital audio clips to play out on the podcast and have a chat with him. And that could be a podcast guest.
There we go.
Sorted. All right, we should have really taken that offline, but we've just had a little meeting on the podcast. Anyway, from me, David Eagle.
And me, Ellie Eagle Skinner, and he did do the shoulder tap.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.